So basically our project was looking at the verification of a design that were provided by our client for a different model of the product that's currently on the market. So this would be cut using different techniques that are currently available and would be more cost competitive for both the client to produce and for consumers to buy.
So last semester we looked at basically some different conservation practices. We had a site selection process, so we had over 100 fields, and based on what those fields, what their specific characteristics were, soils and topography, we looked at what practice would best suit them. And so this semester we worked with a client. He had a field that he was looking at, so we had that field, we assessed it, we looked at it, so we knew what conservation practices we could put on it, and we did the design and went through our plan with that.
With a traditional sweep run out in 750 acres or so, it can cause serious downtime having to change these sweeps once, twice, or for even bigger farmers 3-4 times a year.
Our company is pretty
they're kind of one of a kind in their field.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of people doing what they're doing.
Yeah, they're innovating.
So then that silver edge there, that's the final product. You have tungsten chips within that weld that stay in place. They're taking another product and making it better and marketing it that way, and we're just facilitating that, proving that it's actually better.
Favorite part of the project was doing the brake testing and doing a lot of the hands-on work. And it's always cool to break things, especially when you get to make it first and then see if it'll fail or succeed.
I thought it was pretty interesting to see all the steps that actually go into product design.
I guess really being able to go and see where it is and kind of how our conservation practice would be implemented and kind of get a feel of, you're actually working with someone.
The exposure to all the new technologies that we can use, just to be able to see how it works now and be able to play around with it was actually pretty cool.
Like realizing after 4 years all the stuff we learned, and
you know where the resources are in the building, and you know who to talk to facilitate getting what you need, and everybody's very good at helping you out.
The most challenging part was finding a solution. A lot of times you get a capstone project that succeeds and you have a solution right away and you work to explain it. We were faced with failure of our design multiple times, and so we had to not only try to continue working to solve it, but also come up with adequate reasons why it was okay that it failed and how we could learn from it.
Just management too, time. It's like we got, let alone like us four, we got so much going on senior year, and then getting a time with producers and everything. So it's just time management was a struggle.
We wanted to do this project because there was a lot of new things, but learning all these things took a lot of time and frustrations.
One thing that I found to be very helpful was assigning tasks and working consistently. That's because if you wait too long to start on a certain section of the project, you may run into either failures like we did or other challenges along the way. And if you wait too long to start your project or certain areas, you may run into difficulties completing it before your presentation.
Start early and don't get over your head. It's pretty easy to have a really large scope on these projects and a lot you want to do, but you really need to realize that you have a semester, 2 semesters, maybe even a semester to do it. So staying within the scope of Capstone project is something you really have to consider.
ask questions.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where to start or who to talk to, you can't be afraid to ask questions.
The most important thing that you can do is stay in steady contact with your industry contact. If you lose the way, lose their guidance, it's going to be a much harder project to complete.
Definitely a long process and a weight off your shoulders after you're doing our presentation.
4 years that comes down to this presentation is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Feels great.
It does.
Pretty good.
We're done. We're done. We're good.